London is a city where you can never turn off your camera. Every corner is a ready-made setting. Every story is a ready-made script. Today, I'll show you Central Film School, one of the most atmospheric places for those who dream of creating a film or being a part of it. Finally, I'm in a school that is close to me in spirit. Well, they all are, but this one is especially close. A film school, Central Film School in London. We'll take a look at London and try to understand why it has become one of the best places for filmmakers from all over the world. You know, when I first walked into the Central Film School, I had the feeling that it wasn't a university in the usual sense, but more of a house of cinema. Today, we're looking at the school and the central reception area, then the main hall, the studios. The entire building are historic. Yeah, it's a house where students make their first films, get to know the industry and learn how to turn the ideas in their heads into footage that appears on screen. Why is London the European center of great cinema, and why Netflix and Disney film more here than, say, in Paris or Berlin? London is the Hollywood of Europe, with joint studios like Pinewood, Leavesden and Shepperton. Paris and Berlin are simply incomparable in scale. London boasts the best crew in the world after LA, VFX, lighting, camera apparatus and artists all top-notch. Marvel, Star Wars and Harry Potter, they were all filmed here. Strong tax breaks, up to 30% budget refunds, a better deal than in France or Germany. Everyone speaks English, the language of Hollywood, making it easier, faster and cheaper for producers. London is home to British actors like Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hardy, Henry Cavill and Emma Watson, a world-class cast right at your hand. As a result, London isn't just a city, it's Europe's premier film hub, and if you want to get into the industry, it's one of the best places to start.
Камера, мотор.
At first I applied to acting, then I had foundation, and it so happened that... And what program am I studying now? Production director, so directing. In the first quarter, we shot a short 2-minute film where I was director and editor. Then in the second quarter, my script was chosen, I edited it, directed it, and so I thought, well, isn't this a sign from above? Why not transfer to directing? At Foundation, we studied basically everything, a wide range of things. It wasn't like you are an actor, you're exclusively studying acting, that is, you could try working on sound and, well, on a lot of things, just an amazing amount of things. And what I liked probably the most in acting was how tutors taught us techniques. There was one course that we had around the time of winter holidays where we took turns in groups of two to read excerpts from plays and dialogues. It was so amazing that you could try yourself in the role of, I don't know, some characters from 20th century America, and then of some Shakespearean character. It was so amazing that I just wanted to continue acting, but in the end I thought, why not do two things at once? If you're a director, you can direct yourself. London is the ideal platform for future directors, cameramen and producers. During the day you learn screenwriting in the classroom, and in the evening you find inspiration right on the streets, in theaters, pubs, the tube and endless stories from people.
I teach cinematography here. We do BAs and masters.
Foundations for
and foundation. I think it's a really accommodating space in that there isn't the expectation that that people should know things. I don't make expectations about my students. I like my students to help me to understand where they are so that I can work with them. So what's nice about this place is that every single individual is an individual. And I think the most important thing, we focus on the individuality of the students. We focus on their individual creativity. Regardless of their technical level, we help them to bring out their creativity. So the technical side of things I'm not too worried about. As it happens, we've got a really exciting project going on with our 16mm module. Rory, our CEO, has negotiated a project with Juilliard in New York, and apparently it's taken 5 years to get this project together. So what's happening is that the students at Juilliard are writing a score, a music score, for our 16mm productions. So that there's a collaboration between our students and Juilliard. So that's super exciting because we've never done that before. And it allows our students to interact in a space that we've actually never done here.
Let's say you want to get into the film industry in London, but you know nothing about it. The city is both the historic center of British film and a modern world-class production hub connected to Hollywood studios and streaming services. Regarding scale and budget, last year total spending on film and high-end TV production in the UK amounted to almost £6 billion. Much of this money, of course, went to the London region, the so-called Golden Triangle of studios surrounding it. The main drivers were foreign investment and co-productions with Hollywood studios, Netflix, Amazon, Disney, and others. And what are you studying in directing? Right now, we're mainly learning about the history of cinema, especially in the first quarter, the first trimester, and this is actually very interesting. On Mondays, we always watch a film chosen by one of our teachers. Then on Tuesday, in the second part of the lesson, we discuss it, and during the rest of the days, we have small sessions in groups, not the whole class. Not all the directors, actors, screenwriters, but only, for example, all the directors, most of the directors, a couple of actors, one screenwriter. Can you tell me about your teachers here? What kind of experience do they have? They have a lot of experience and they always share it, especially when they meet us at the beginning of the course. In the first or second week, they introduced themselves, told us what they did before or what careers they tried. We have teachers who were executive producers, we had teachers who, we still have them, teachers who are directors and still direct something on the side of proper teaching.
So I'm Will, I'm the screenwriting course leader here at Central Film School. We have foundation year students and two, so there's a pathway from people who have an interest in both screenwriting itself but also film more broadly. That can start with everything as basic as how to format a script and basic storytelling principles. So the foundation students will, for example, write a 5-page short film scripts, a webisode for online audiences. It could be a conventional narrative short film, and then consequently they get to work on other projects like an episodic TV drama. So it's writing for screen in the broadest sense, not just film but TV and streaming platforms as well. So we also get to work on script reports, so screenwriting in the context of the industry at large, so how you read scripts, and the way you read a script is going to be different if you're a writer versus if you're an actor or director or producer or agent. And so we try and give a holistic perspective on the screenwriting journey in all its forms.
The main reasons for filming in London are the skill people have here, tax incentives and infrastructure. Essentially, London and its surroundings are a European assembly line for major franchises and series. So where is all this filmed? The studio belt around London. Large pavilion complexes within 1 hour from the city centre. Pinewood Studios, west of London, is one of the world's key studios responsible for the James Bond franchise. By the way, you can watch my special episode about James Bond filming locations. It is available on the channel and was actually filmed in London. Warner Brothers, northwest of London. Do I need to tell you about it? This is where much of the Harry Potter franchise was filmed. The studio is now actively used for major blockbusters and hosts the famous Harry Potter studio tour, popular among tourists. Shepperton Studios in West London has new filming sites with expanding complexes.
We do documentary, for example, in its own dedicated week as part of our screen studies degree. We'll look purely at documentaries. We even have an interactive storytelling module, which is on things like games writing. So that's probably taking screenwriting to its extremity, but because we're mindful of the fact that writing in all its professional forms can take you in so many different directions, particularly as formats change. You have, micro short films and virtual shorts in new social media driven formats that writers have to be aware of, and even things like games writing, as I was suggesting, has narrative storytelling at its heart. And so from the point of view of, I guess, developing and engendering a love of writing per se can take you in all sorts of directions professionally.
I'm the course leader for the practical filmmaking, and our focus is getting and preparing students to get into the industry, of course, in a range of areas. So our degrees here are what's called transferable skills. That means it unlocks in terms of the industry. It's not just only for the film industry. It could be anywhere in the media and communication industry, right? It could be in advertising, it could be at film festivals, it could be at the British Film Institute, it could be at a legal entertainment firm, it could be at the BBC, one of the TV stations. I'll just mention that in terms of aesthetics and creativity, and it's in combination with business and commerce. That's how the industry works, right? So art and commercial capabilities are important for the students to grasp. So it's not just making art films, but it's not just making commercial product to repeat what's out there already in the market, right? So we're trying to develop a student's individual creative voice to tell their story, right? And that can happen, as a writer-director, but also in any of the disciplines: cinematography, editing, post-production, sound recording, production design. All of these areas, we want students to develop their individual voice because they're working towards their grad film. Their grad film will be a 10-minute professional piece of work where they work in a crew professionally in these areas, discipline areas. And each of those areas, when they get to the final year, have a specialized tutor who has experience from the industry.
Let's call it the brain of the British film industry. The sets themselves are located outside the city, but the creative and post-production center is located in London itself. Concentrated here are VFX, edit and sound, color correction studios, ad companies, and of course creative agencies. London is home to the largest agencies, production companies, channels, creative departments, and online platforms. Everything from ideas and projects and negotiations happens here. Financing, including national film support, is also distributed from London. The city is home to the largest film archive. It hosts festivals, including the London Film Festival. London studios generate tens of millions of pounds, provide jobs, potential internships, and not just acting or camera work, but also equipment rental, set design, logistics, catering, festivals, hotels. All of this requires personnel. Films and TV series boost tourism significantly. There is so-called film-induced tourism, from Harry Potter to Bond and Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's fine. Or he will find it.
What is this room in here? You were all in one little room? Like, is it like?
Well, this room is basically whenever you have a shoot going on, is for the actors to get ready makeup and dressed up. It's a sort of like safe room for them.
Also
to be
holds them in
there.
the same place so that they don't get lost.
Yeah.
That you don't lose them when you need them on set.
And do you do
keep
like
them
an
inside.
acting classes or like something
There
else?
is an acting class, but we are not.
We're
the acting
filmmakers.
class.
Are you filmmakers?
Yeah.
And do you work with the acting students who does acting or collaborate?
Yeah, we're able to like cast them in our student films, which is good because there's an abundance of actors to choose from.
So in terms of facilities, what we have 2 working studios. So in Studio A, we have DMX lighting rig, which students utilise. We have a large LED wall, which we use for virtual production, which it couples together with our Stipe device, which is linked to a Blackmagic Ursa Mini 12K Pro. Yeah, we have fully retractable seating in here as well, so the seats can go all the way back, which will then allow a really large studio space for our students to use. And then downstairs is a smaller studio, but that's equipped with the motion capture facilities that we have here. In terms of equipment, we do it in tiers. So students will, when they first arrive on the practical filmmaking program or our foundation program, will start by using DSLR equivalents. So we'll use Canon C100s. Once they've learned that for their very first thing that they do, they then move on to the Blackmagics, which we have the 6K Pro. Yeah, so
This is your office.
yeah, we spend a lot of time in it. So this is where students will collect equipment from as well. So we try and make this as close to a rental house as possible, because when students leave here, they can actually still use all of our equipment for free for 1 year after they graduate. Up here we have our second AC kit, so that will be, you know, your clapper board, all of your camera accessories that you need. We have all of our sound equipment here, so we have 4 of the 633 recorders. We also have a 644. We have tons of grip equipment as well, so spigots, clamps, everything that a grip or a gaffer would need. We tend to have pretty much everything.
Again, what's nice about CFS is that there's a whole range of experience that the lecturers bring to this space. Everybody has industry experience. Everybody has experience in their own specialism. And like, for instance, my background is very varied. I come from a commercial background. My commercial background's in fashion. And it encompasses a lot of work around the world. Primarily my work was always abroad. We would shoot in Tokyo, New York, Los Angeles, Paris, all over the world. I think what a lot of the lecturers bring here is not a fixed attitude to filmmaking. A lot of the lecturers here have enough experience to be really flexible in their approach to teaching. And that flexibility, I believe, allows a lot of students to feel comfortable in this place, that there isn't a very fixed idea of what they are expected to do. A big part of what we try to do here is to create the space for students to tell their individual story. And I think the experience that the lecturers have here is part of that.